Hey everyone, Ed from New Haven, Connecticut here. Hope everybody is doing well. I realized just about a month has passed and it's time for me to put out another episode of my Play That 45 80s picture sleeves that I bought back in the day. So I've got another round of great stuff to show and chat about for a little bit. In addition, what I also included in here are some import 45s that I picked up back in the day as well when I was doing my college radio DJ days. So they seem to find a way into my backpack and made their way out of the studio. Never found their way back. So I have some of those to show as well, which I think you find are pretty cool. So with that, sit back, enjoy, and let's go back to the 80s. All right, let's start off in 1981 with Yoko Ono's Walking on Thin Ice, the last song that John Lennon was working on the night that he was murdered. On the back here is an essay from Yoko dated January 24th of 1981. And also what came included in this 45 was a little lyric sheet. So you have the lyrics of Walking on Thin Ice and also the B-side, It Happened. And also on the back here, it includes the production credits for each respective song with the musicians as well. So Yoko Ono's Walking on Thin Ice from 1981. Getting into some movie soundtracks. Joe Cocker, Jennifer Lawrence, Up Where We Belong, big Academy Award winner, of course, Officer and a Gentleman, written by Jack Nietzsche, Will Jennings, I believe, and the wonderful Buffy St. Marie. Nothing here on the backside of this picture sleeve, and I believe the B-side is just a standalone Joe Cocker track. So Up Where We Belong, Joe Cocker and Jennifer Lawrence. Kenny Loggins, Danger Zone, Top Gun, of course. You can't get more 80s with that spiked hair, that beard, and those awesome shoulder pads he's wearing. So, Giorgio Moroder produced. We all know it. Either you love it or you hate it. I happen to like it. It's fun. Kenny Loggins, Danger Zone from Top Gun. Pretty standard 80s stuff right there. In that same vein, very much a touchstone for a lot of us, San Elmo's Fire by John Parr. Co-written and produced by, some might say, the dreaded David Foster. Here's the back of the picture sleeve here with a track called One Love on the back. Set Almost Fire, John Parr. Got to get Prince in, of course, since we're talking about the 80s. Mark over at Mad for Vinyl recently showed this picture sleeve as well. And of course, for me back in the day was buying the Prince 45s, not only for the picture sleeves, but also because the B-side tracks you couldn't find anywhere else. And in this case, a piano ballad called How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, which for many years was only available in this format. So Prince's 1999 from 1983. Staying in that Prince vein a little bit, we have Tina Turner's Show Some Respect, one of my favorite tracks off of Private Dancer. Same thing, bought these for the picture sleeves, but also because the B-sides for pretty much all these singles off that LP were non-LP tracks. And here she covers Prince's Let's Pretend We're Married, which is also from 1999. There's a pretty solid, funky version of that. So that's Tina Turner with Show Some Respect. Great photo right there. Howard Jones, What Is Love, off of Humans Live, the debut LP. That's a great picture sleeve and a great picture of a young Howard right there. B-side is a non-LP track at the time called It Just Doesn't Matter. Next up, my man Corey Hart, Boy in the Box. Gotta love that spiky 80s hair. Great look for Corey, as always. Everything's a great look for Corey. With lyrics on the back right there, 1985. Corey Hart and Boy in the Box. The Tubes, She's a Beauty. Fee Waybill in the band. I saw when this came out, New Haven Coliseum back in the day. Big top 10 hit for them here in the States. The picture sleeve is the same, front and back. Definitely still in the 80s right here. Clarence Clemens and Jackson Browne with You're a Friend of Mine. I think Daryl Hannah does the background vocals on this as well. Once again, produced, co-written, etc. by Narada Michael Walden, whose hands were all over a lot of artists and songs in the 80s. This certainly is a prime example of that. Decent hit for Clarence Clemens, You're a Friend of Mine. Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, the debut single off of the forthcoming second LP, which it says right here. The B-side is a bonus cut called Moment of Truth. Once again, Narada Michael Walden had a hand in putting this together, as he did with, Aretha Franklin and George Michael's I Knew You Were Waiting for Me. Not really a great picture sleeve. That's just sort of a fuzzy image of the music video, I believe. And the back is just, the B-side is just an instrumental promoting Aretha's upcoming album at the time. So Aretha and George, I Knew You Were Waiting for Me. Sticking with George Michael for a bit. Debut 45 here in the States from Wham. Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Same on both. Still holds up. Great song. Fantastic. Solo George. Big controversy at the time, right? Released as Lust 1 with I Want Your Sex. I love the fact that it says here in the back that it's from the movie Beverly Hills Cop 2, which I totally forgot about. And the B-side called Rhythm 2, Brass in Love, I'm pretty sure is instrumental. I'd have to play it, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And it also says on here that this record is dedicated to my hopeless conquest. So we have George Michael, I Want Your Sex. A lot of controversy at the time when this came out, but hey, controversy sells records, right? So good for him. Fantastic. Jody Watley, first top 10 solo hit for her, formerly of Shalimar, with Looking for a New Love. Produced by Andre Simone and David Z, Prince proteges as well. Good stuff. Culture Club, Move Away from 1986. Sort of coming to the end of the first round of things for these boys. The end of the innocence, as it were. Things were not looking so great for them at this time, but they came out with the single from their fourth LP, Move Away. B-side called Sexuality. Culture Club 1986. Need to get in some Madonna. Of course, it's the 80s. So we have the picture sleeve here for Who's That Girl? Little early release from the upcoming soundtrack that was coming out very shortly. So with Madonna, Who's That Girl? That kind of is a nice segue into what I mentioned before are the next round of 45s that I have, which are all imports that I got back in my college radio DJ days, like around 1987, 88, that time period. So first up, we have the Lords of the New Church and their cover of Madonna's Like a Virgin. This is from Holland, still on IRS. I think what they were going for here is maybe subtle, understated. Those words come to mind. The Lords. And we have the back right here with a B-side called Gun Called Justice. Pretty much a note-by-note remake of Like a Virgin. Funny, silly, as the Lords of the New Church can do it so. But there you are. There's that. Next up, Dead or Alive, Something in My House, Stock Aitken Waterman produced. That's a cool picture sleeve there. We've got the band on the back. Fresh from Australia, we have the Lime Spiders. This is a promo 45 that I got back in the day. I saw these guys live here in New Haven when they toured the States. Really great garage rock from Australia. There's the back of the picture sleeve right there. Lime Spiders, very cool. Moving on to Flesh for Lulu with Siamese Twist. I have a number of Flesh for Lulu, 12 inches. Idol is one of my favorite Flesh for Lulu songs. I love that track. So a very cool 45. And also for you label fans out there, here's the Beggar's Banquet label, which is a very cool label. So here's the 45. Coming up, a very iconic picture sleeve for an iconic band is the Pixies. Here Comes Your Man. 4AD single with the B-side called Into the Whites. Very much an image associated with them for sure. And here's the 45. There's the A-side, Here Comes Your Man. And our B-side here, Into the Whites. Pretty nice. And the last one I have, I don't remember where I got it, and it came in like a clear plastic sleeve, but this is a picture disc of The Godfathers with She Gives Me Love, with a great image right there of Elizabeth Taylor in profile. That's pretty cool. And here's the B-side of this 45, She Gives Me Love with Walkin' Talkin' Johnny Cash Blues. Vic Mail produced off of More Songs About Love and Hate, which was, I believe, their second LP here in the States, I think. And that's what I've got for my last round of 45s. We'll end off with The Godfathers and She Gives Me Love with good old Elizabeth Taylor. All right, hope you all enjoyed that. I had fun putting that together and talking about those. Feel free to like and comment. I have a lot of repeat watchers that watch this series, which really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. And some new folks as well. And it just always brings back a lot of memories for folks and kind of what takes them back to a certain place in time with those memories of looking at these picture sleeves and thinking of these songs. So, which is a lot of fun. So with that, I'll say very quickly, my send-off with everything going on out there. We know there's a lot going on out there today. Everybody have a good week, wherever you may be. And let's all take a moment to be kind to one another. Thanks, folks. Until the next time.